Hey Leos, welcome to your reading for February. If you're new, welcome. Please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get all the messages I post each month. To my lovely loyal subscribers, you'll know this is a different setup. Oh, look, we're pulling the Leo card there. Power. Just so while the lighting is a little bit off, you can get to see the card. So it's still the same messages for you guys, just a different point of view, right? Okay, so power. Moving on, that's the Six of Swords there and the Strength card. And suffering in silence, Leo. Keeping things to yourself, or at least your soulmate is here. Let's see where this is going. I'm actually going to pull another card for the suffering in silence here. I feel like it may be some of you, but it could be some of your soulmates as well. I've laid them out with the power card starting with the past, the moving on in the present, and suffering in silence in the future. So I want to see where this is going here. Romantic feelings. So somebody is keeping how they feel about you to themselves. They're embracing the Nine of Swords energy rather than speaking up about it. And I feel probably because in the present you're moving on and you're moving forward with your life away from this lesson, taming that inner beast that wants to pull you back there. So now they feel the disconnect of the energy. They are starting to feel, it's saying they have real feelings for you. So that's quite interesting there, that they have real feelings, but they've kept it to themselves this whole time. I guess we'll see, right? Could be another Leo you're dealing with. This airy energy is really wanting you to move forward though. And that's why you are doing so. We have a lot going on in Aquarius, so that's probably why you're starting to feel a disconnect to move forward. Eight of Cups there in the past position next to the Strength card. So it could have even been them that walked away from you and they're now having this regret here. It's usually the case. Three of Pentacles. You was willing to build with them in the past, but I feel like they walked away towards a third party, towards another person. They did so reluctantly. I will say that this Eight of Cups is somebody reluctantly walking away. I just don't feel they had that power to stay. They didn't have like the emotional stability or maturity to deal with this connection or to deal with this lesson while with you. So for example, if they could have chose somebody who was easier to deal with. The Wheel, okay, in the past you did want to change this around, you did want to work on it and maybe even waited for them to come back a little bit here. You waited for divine timing here with the Wheel, you waited for them to change. They didn't have the courage, right? They did not have the courage here to come towards you and work this out, let's say. The Star here, yeah, it kind of, they have sort of missed a moment in time. So when you was waiting for divine timing, they would not learn their lesson. They were too scared. Okay, so what happens is we keep moving forward, right? This is why we can see you here moving forward. They had an opportunity, a moment in time where they could have come back and revealed these feelings to you and it would have really made a huge change. You'd have been able to work with them and grow together. But by walking away, you was unable to turn things around here and grow together. Don't worry though, the wheel is always turning, right? We're always trying to grow, to build, and this is those eight. So abundance came from this either way. You learned your lesson either way, and so did they. Okay, here, let's see, as we move on to the present. Yeah, the Judgment card there is reversed. I feel like you're moving on because this divine timing never came around, or they never, like, they didn't get to a certain point of healing or of their lesson while you were still growing, right? So the divine here couldn't match you up because their vibration stayed lower than yours. And of course, if you're a cross watcher, it will have been the Leo's vibration that stayed lower than yours because they was unable to deal with their feelings with the cups here. So it was easier for them to walk away than face you. Six of Cups. Okay, so as you start to move away, as we said down here, they start to pull back towards you in the present. The Six of Cups is somebody returning from your past here. With this Judgment card reversed, I'm a little bit wary that maybe they still haven't raised their vibrations because the divine isn't really signing off on this yet. So you may have positive memories about them, but may decide to move forward nonetheless without them. Ten of Wands, yeah. You may be looking to drop the burden because it's taken a long time for this wheel to turn and for them to move into action to do anything here. For them to act, for them to come towards you in the right energy here. If they would have returned and wanted to build and wanted to, focus and learn and grow, it would have been very different. This star kind of represents that was supposed to happen. But it never did with the Judgment reverse because it's saying, you still haven't gotten back together with this person, but at present, they want to get back together with you. And I guess this is why we're moving forward into their discomfort. We only learn with discomfort, right? We can tell somebody and it can fall on deaf ears. We can, try to help them to see the way forward. We can kind of want to have the strength for both people, but it won't work out that way. Eventually the burden becomes too much here, Ten of Wands, and then we put it down or it becomes a tower and we're forced to put it down. So this person is starting to feel this burden of being without you, of not doing the work here. They felt like the project was too big. Ten of Wands here, I can't do all this on my own. The project felt too big. I don't know how to heal this situation. I want to come back, but what do I need to do first is too much. So this is why I fear they haven't sort of raised their vibrations to a level that would be acceptable to start growing together. Ace of Pentacles here. Some of you may have somebody returning from your past who you haven't been in a romantic relationship with yet. So it could be like somebody you've known a long time ago. Maybe you met in school, in childhood, things like that. It could even be a friend coming back and saying, hey, can we work things out? Again, I feel this friend may just have a lot to unburden on you with this Ten of Wands and wants you to help carry the burden. What they're offering here is Ace of Pentacles. Look, can we take it back to square one? That would mean that you would have to lower your vibrations. Now, if you're quite confident that this person is ready to build up with you with that Three of Pentacles and the star there, if you feel it in your bones, and I always tell people, trust your own intuition and gut here, because a lot of the times the Ace of Pentacles can look like this is an offer of commitment, but actually this could be somebody asking for help. So as long as you're sure that you can maintain your vibration, then I would say it may be okay to accept their offer. But I feel like maybe a lot of you won't accept their offer. You kind of know it comes with this baggage. You kind of know that they don't want to do the work themselves. So in the present, it looks like this moving on energy. It's funny, we have Mercury retrograde in Aquarius along with the Sun and Jupiter. But we usually think back to unfinished business, but this time Mercury will retrograde in all the air signs. So it makes it quite actually chaotic. And this is what we can see here happening with the Wheel and the Ten of Wands. We can see people actually, saying this is too much for me, and either moving on, or this is too much for me, I'm going to put it on somebody else. So you need to ask yourself, where am I at in that equation? Is this person wanting to dump all their rubbish on me? Am I going to accept their offer? Because it may look like a beautiful shining offer, but the cards next to it, I feel like you would definitely have to take a step down. So I'd just be aware of these things. Of course, you have free will as well as they have free will. and you can or do not have to accept an offer. You have to trust your intuition. The worst thing that'll happen is you'll repeat the same cycle. The best thing that can happen is you guys can build and then end up growing together. Ace of Wands here in the future, next to the Nine of Swords, that's suffering in silence. So I feel like there will be some communication that comes in here, and they will tell you, look, I have these feelings for you, and they're being genuine. But I guess not acting. And this is an opportunity now for them to act with the Ace of Wands, where before they walked away and ignored the signs, ignored the call, because that's judgment, right? It's the Judgment Day call, the call to wake up. So now they can act, now they can wake up. It doesn't mean you have to immediately jump to whatever they're offering, right? It's okay for, you know, I know as myself being an empath, that when somebody else is suffering, because I absorb it like a sponge, I really hate it and I try to fix the problem for them. It's not the correct thing to do, and it often gets us in more trouble than is worth, right? Because then we take on their energy and they take on our positive energy. Six of Swords reverse now here. So in the present, we have the Six of Swords moving forward under the Six of Cups. So these sixes are related to the Lovers here. Your sixth house is about your service to humanity, your health, and really taking care of yourself and doing what's best for yourself. You might spin the wheel again and go back to this person and decide, no, I'm not going to move on with somebody else in the future here after you've had this communication with them. Some of you may not allow them to communicate with you to keep your own sanity here. Okay, the Emperor, yeah, and I don't feel like you're doing this out of ego, okay? So a lot of people may say, you know, this Leo's like this, they're full of ego and this power trip and blah, blah, blah. You know, you are not doing it out of the ego here. You are doing it out of this protection for yourself, this love for yourself that we all need to have. And it's coming from a very genuine place. If you go ahead and pick up the burden for that person here with the Ten of Wands, it might be very well that they see, I don't have to change. They're going to do the work for me. Anytime I call, they jump. So leaving them to sit in their feelings is not a negative thing, because then they have to process it, right? Then they have to transcend it. Then they have to act on it. Then they have to move forward into the work if that's what they really want, right? Holding them back would be, you know, doing the work for them. I will say a positive here. After the Ten of Wands, we do want to see the Ace of Wands, right? So maybe not taking their first offer, but maybe their second offer if you truly do feel meant to be with them, okay, with the Star. So maybe waiting for a different offer, because I feel like this offer of commitment, it looks like it's better, but actually I feel like it's actually like an offer to share the burden. So it's like getting married for tax reasons and things like that, sharing rent and things like that, rather than love and opportunity and embracing each other and growing with each other and building with each other. Because this at the present all seems like too much for them. So why then would they offer this Ace of Pentacles, right? Okay, Queen of Swords. So it's about learning and using what you've learned so far, using your own discernment, your own ascension, allowing people to rise up in vibration to you rather than you coming down to them, okay? You know, a lot of the time people will say, well, you don't give somebody an opportunity because they're poor and things like that. It means you're a gold digger. This is the only example I can think of at the moment, somebody being called a gold digger, wanting better. No, if you've raised yourself to a point of vibration where you're trying to make your own income, and you allowing somebody who wants you to pay all their bills, what's going to happen to your income and your life? And you're just going to have this struggle, love. And I mean, it just makes it all the harder. I am not about promoting struggle love. I'm about promoting and building with each other. So you definitely need to have in mind that we're here to build, right, together. Because if we're not moving up together, we're growing in different directions, and one may even pull the other one down. So there's no point feeling sorry that this person is now in their feelings for you. It's a 9, so it's related to the Hermit. It's something that's got to happen within them in order for them to grow themselves. And then they won't be able to help themselves, and they'll reach out and want to take the opportunity. We can see the staff here, the Ace of Wands in this lady's hand. And then we see it here, actually, like, okay, I'm coming up out of this sort of maybe even depression here that they're feeling right now, because they have to think, okay, well, I walked away. It was my decision. I was seeing the signs and I was feeling it, but I ignored it. So what do? I went here. Okay, I'm thinking here. I can't move on with this third party situation. What do I do? So we go back to act, right? After there's desire, we need to act. And okay, it might be too much headache and too much to do. And, you know, if I leave this person, I have nowhere to live. So then I need somewhere to live, right? Do you see where we're going here? It's kind of like they've got to be able to have their own foundation and build on it like you have your own foundation and you're building on it, right? To be able to bring more, bring better to both of your lives, to expand both of your lives here. And the Queen of Swords energy, she's nobody's fool. She's saying, look, I've been here before. I've experienced struggle love before. Something like that, right? I don't even know where I've got this struggle love from, but that's kind of what it feels like, right? You know, you go through a relationship when you're younger and you're like, you don't really have the funds to hold each other up and stuff. Or one ends up, you know, just taking from the other one, because the other ain't ready to start building. You both need a platform, a foundation to stand on here. And this is what you've learned. It's like, it's not, okay, I don't need money to make me happy. It's nothing about that. It's nothing about that. When you have that spiritual growth, you understand the difference of abundance, right? Abundance of time that you are able to give to each other. The abundance of support and focus you're able to give to each other. Balancing out the feminine and masculine within each other, right? It's not necessarily about money, but it's an understanding about we're working together to build our future, and not one person thinking, well, that sounds like a lot of work, you go do it. Or you pay my bills and then I'll, you know, it drags you down. It's a struggle, love, right? Good luck, guys.